Like not to fucking work. I think we're back, little bitch. Are we back? Are we back?
I think so. Yep.
Yes,
yep.
finally.
Yep, there it is.
All right. I apologize, guys, but OBS wanted to say, hey, I just want to fuck with shit and not work. So let's okay, welcome to Planet. We're gonna do this again. Welcome to Planet Xbox, episode 48. I am your host, the best spot, Kid Smooth. I apologize for technical difficulties, but we in here, we in this bitch, and we got a lot to talk about. We're gonna do some introductions. So we're gonna start off with Dopest J. How you doing?
Hey man, we're hanging out. Glad to have Planet Xbox back for another week. We had a little layoff, but we're back and better than ever. Make sure you guys drop a like, sub. Congratulations on 11K subscribers. Let's get that up to 20K this year. And yeah, good gaming everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got Old Man Logan.
What's up, guys? Old Man Logan here. Ready to get back to talking to games. I'm glad that you're doing better now, Smooth.
Oh yeah.
So it's good. I'm glad to hear that you're doing good. Missed you guys last week. And yeah, let's talk some games. Also, yeah, congrats on the 11K. I think we shoot for the moon and go to 100K.
Yeah, 100K. Yeah, shoot for the. Yeah, I mean that's gonna be a lot.
Add a couple zeros there.
Yeah, at the rate that I've been going, I average like one sub per day and a half. So
make like 100K count then. Let's go.
NickBanks.
What's going on? What's up, y'all? Ready to get back to talking about games, you know.
Also, me and NickBanks are going to be doing something soon in the future that's going to be quite funny. Add some Addict content to the channel. Addict was here, but honorary member Addict. Yeah, I think I'm not seeing him in the little icons. Shout out to Addict. Also, shout out to Chris Righteous. You know, we praying everything gets well. You know, Texas is bad with the snow. You know, people losing power and water and all this other stuff. So, Chris, keep your head up. We'll be here if you need us.
Oh, he's here right now. He's here right now.
Oh, here. I didn't think he would be able to make it. What's up, Chris?
Okay.
He said, "Don't worry, I'm using that electricity. Nobody else needs it from me." That's mine now.
Would you plug your phone into your PlayStation? You know, man. Yeah, Chris, what's up?
What's good, man?
What's up? I was not expecting you.
Nah, actually, I'm not even gonna be here for long. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I just stopping by real quick.
Staying warm in Texas.
Yeah, I mean, it's really not too bad. Like, like compared to like places up north, like this ain't nothing. Like I was stationed in Kansas for like 3 years when I was in the army, and the winters are way worse. But the thing is, down here is the state of Texas is not prepared for a cold winter like this, right? So it's like they have like no snow clouds, nothing. Like I see people with flip flops and socks with a garden hose and a leaf rake trying to get ice off the driveway.
They probably don't even own a pair of snow boots, do they? Don't even know boots.
Like this ain't like the snow. It really ain't shit. Like if you from up north, it's nothing. But like I said, it's like since nobody was prepared for this, like people's electricity started going out. Like the first night, our electricity was going in and out. Like it would turn on for like 15 minutes. And then it'll be out for like 45 minutes and it'll turn back on. But then the next day, we had, the electricity turned back on and we haven't had an outage since, but we haven't had no water. So we can't, you know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Like, we couldn't flush the toilet, nothing. I'm sitting there pissing in the shower and shit like that. Like,
damn.
Like, yeah, you can't, well, like we'll go to, thankfully my mother-in-law, right, my wife's mom, they still had water. So we went over there, we take showers and then we would take jugs of water. Whenever we need to use the toilet, we just, pour it in a jug of water in the tank and just flush it. But it hasn't really been too bad for us. But for other people, yeah, it's pretty bad right now. Some people with kids, they don't got no electricity, no water. Then everybody started panic buying. So all of the stores are out of stock with like, you can't find meat. water, like you know what I mean, batteries,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like it always happens like that down here. It's like I remember when the hurricane hit Houston. Like everybody over here in San Antonio started like panic, like buying, but they started like buying up all the gas. And, like the gas stations were filled up and stuff like that. And then we had no gas for like 2 days. So.
Damn.
But nah, it's supposed to get better. Like it's supposed to actually snow again tonight. But yeah, this is the craziest I've ever seen. I've been here for 8 years, like in Texas. I've only been here because I'm not from here, but I've been here for 8 years, and maybe every 2 to 3 years we'll get very light snow, you know, just enough to make, you know, the grass a little bit white or whatever. But then it just melts, you know, the same day. But yeah, this is the craziest I've ever seen it. But yeah, but the governors of Texas over here, you know, talking about, oh, it's our fault. They're saying a whole bunch of bullshit, man. Fuck them.
They're saying,
Like,
I
who
saw
expects that?
that one mayor. What did he say? He said you guys were basically on your own, and this was your own fault.
Yeah,
for not
survival
being
of the
prepared.
fittest and shit. I mean,
And then
it's true.
he resigned.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
For saying
it was
something
like
so
Colorado-
inconsiderate like that.
But
Was it Colorado, Texas? Yeah, mayor put out a big post on Facebook saying how basically it was everyone's fault, everyone else's fault for, you know, not being prepared, and said that if you wanted to, you know, have heat and stuff, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive, and
Damn.
but basically just said he was on your own, and then
Wow.
he got not surprising as an elected official, he got a lot of flack and then resigned.
Yeah. All right. Well, damn. You know, praying for them. Shit. But all right. So let's.
Can you guys hear me?
Addict. Yes. What's up?
Yeah, the thing I've noticed, because like I'm from Arizona, I spent a good amount of time in Arizona, like half my life in there. Like a lot of the West states aren't designed for snow. Like I'm sure there's a lot of flat roofs and shit over there in Texas. That's why you see all these houses like having floods and shit, because their buildings are built completely different. Like they're not used to snow.
Yeah, y'all
That's
got
why you
snow
see,
tires
like-
and shit, right?
Huh?
Y'all don't got like proper snow tires and shit.
Well,
right?
I mean, the majority of people don't even use snow tires like that. Like the
Yeah.
problem is,
yeah, why would we? We don't get
yeah,
snow.
the problem is they don't build their pipes to freeze. They don't do none of that shit.
Its
Like,
insulation is very different as well inside the houses that are built down there.
The windmills are frozen, so there's no wind blowing.
Oh yeah, I know the anti-environmentalist is having a ball with that, because you know because the windmills they have to they can't move. Oh shit, damn dude, that's crazy. I like Texas, man. I like the couple of times that I went there. But go ahead.
I'm sure after that shit freezes, there's gonna have to be some serious maintenance on those windmills. So
Oh yeah.
Well, there's windmills with anti-freezing technology, but obviously in Texas, probably nobody put that stuff in there. So
Yeah, they weren't
so
prepared.
yeah, if you got windmills in Texas that don't have the technology to not freeze,
see, the question is like, was Texas unprepared, or was Texas just like, I don't think they were not prepared. It's just like
Complacent.
you
They were
can't
complacent.
you can't prepare for something that you never get.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like it's just like at the end of the day, it's like in order to be
Right.
quote unquote prepared, are we going to start building houses like they do on the East Coast? That's redundant. Like, why would you do that for one incident? But then, you know, maybe if you do it, you won't have this issue again.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's a lot of house owners that didn't have any type of insurance like that. They fucked. So
Yeah, I think they said like over 4 million without electricity and water and stuff like that. So we'll
It's-
see. Supposedly the weather this weekend is supposed to be a lot better. So
I mean, yeah, kid. I mean, here us on the East Coast, we had one of the warmest days yesterday. Like, oh, I went outside in the
but I've been
t-shirt.
seeing a lot. Like
for me.
we're supposed to get like 6 inches of snow tonight.
I know it's gonna snow tomorrow. Like,
I know the Midwest, like, cause I'm always seeing like Luca posts like, yeah, she's always like, it's always snowing over there, and it's been snowing like crazy past couple weeks. You know what I mean? So
This is the worst weather. This is the worst winter we've had in years, like by far.
it's supposed to
'Cause
snow
usually-
here tonight at midnight. That's crazy. We don't get snow like this.
Because usually how it goes is you get that one really good snowstorm, and then you just get a bunch of like 1 to 3 inches, 1 to 2 inches, and then the winter's over. Now it's like 3 to 5 inches, 5 to 8 inches. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy. All right, so let's get into today's show. But first, before we get into this today's show, I do want to go over some of the sales if I could find them.
Sales.
Xbox Live, we got the deals with gold coming through. So me and Nick be finding ourselves in this thing like once a week to find out like what we tempted to buy, and hopefully what's
like
likely.
Dude, that's the sad part.
What's likely to fall in Game Pass? You know what I mean? Yeah, I almost got bamboozled.
I want to hear a funny story. That game's multiplayer lasted about, I think, a whole month after it launched, and then they shut it down.
Also, the multiplayer is not there. No more.
No, the multiplayer on Disintegration. No, it got shut down relatively soon after it launched.
Okay. Well, all right. In terms of so Marvel's Avengers is coming out, the next gen version coming out for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. It's due March 16th. If I'm not, I know it's in March, but I don't know if that's the date. But typically, right now the game is on sale for $29.99. For those who are interested, you got 5 more days to buy this before they bring it back up to $60. Marvel's Avengers. So I'm probably going to buy it because I said I will only play the next gen version.
Game Pass.
It's Square Enix. They're not going to put it in Game Pass.
Yeah, they're going to do something, man. I need that like free 99, or I need that like $19.99. Like that's the only way I'm getting that shit.
I mean, I'm gonna buy it so I can play the next gen version because I don't want to wait. I don't want the next gen version to come out and then the only option is $60 and I have to wait for a sale again. So I put it in my cart and I got a reminder to buy it on the day 5 because I'm not ready to pull the trigger right now. Disintegration, a game I've been looking at, and then D Nick with the clutch save let me know that you spend the entire time inside of a fucking vehicle. And now looking at all the screenshots, right? It's not quite that apparent. Like, sure, this image doesn't. This tells me like, oh, okay, there's vehicles in the game, right? But everything else, I see people standing with guns and mechs. And the thing that attracted me is by people that was made Halo and Destiny. So I thought it was a shooter. It's described as a sci-fi first-person shooter combined with RTS elements. So I'm not thinking of a vehicle game. So, so Disintegration's on sale for $14.99.
What's them reviews looking like though?
Oh no.
Man. That's what we ended up doing.
Wolfenstein bundle. Now, if you're an Xbox Game Pass member, these games are both in Game Pass, but you can get, and these are the old games, so it's not doing anybody any favors. It's $15, deals with gold, or you get these games at Game Pass. NASCAR Heat is $20.09. I don't know. Crysis Remastered. I've been looking at this. I put it in my cart. I'm not sure if I'm going to check it out. It's on sale for $17.99. No Man's Sky's in Game Pass. It doesn't matter. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I would advise against the Crysis Remaster.
Why so?
For what it should have been, it definitely is not. It runs like ass on a Series X. So I think it's just the Xbox One X version. Even in FPS mode, it just ran terrible. The controls were very, very clunky and not fluid. And the resolution, I don't know, just everything just seemed off about the remaster. I feel like it was just a cash grab that they wanted to cash in on to get some money from somebody. Because I bought it when it was on sale around Christmas time for $20. And I played through it, and it was subpar.
Wow.
Maybe since it's an EA game, maybe it'll.
I don't think EA did this one.
EA owns Crysis.
No, I think they have publishing rights to the original 360 ones, but this remaster is Saber Interactive and Crytek.
What? Really?
Yeah. I think they signed a publishing deal for the original ones, but I don't think they own the IP at all.
They don't own IP. What?
EA, no, it belongs to Crytek.
I did not know that. I thought.
Well, CryEngine was inspired by Crysis.
No, it was published by Crytek and developed by Crytek, so that even makes it worse. Because I thought it was an EA game. And I was like, oh, this is fitting because
Yeah.
EA. If Crytek's the one that developed and published it, that's lazy on them as a developer by far. I did not know that. I just thought it was EA just trying to get a cash grab and said, hey, put this out. But no, now that I see that it's published by Crytek and developed by Crytek, that really kind of pisses me off. That's terrible.
No Man's Sky is also on sale. I don't know how much it is, but it's in Game Pass, so it doesn't matter. Now, this game, Generation Zero, I was literally by the back. I was like, man, this thing looks interesting until I read the freaking reviews. So, and I'm like, okay.
You gotta understand, man. You remember when we was reading 2K1?
Isn't that the one with like the survival machine thing?
I don't know. I haven't played it.
This guy says the game I've always wanted.
Yeah, it is.
More fixes and improvements. Be patient, baby. What the hell?
Fun Time, Animal Super Squad, AO Tennis. I've never heard of that. Oh, there's a game for $1.94. This is Bomb Fest Explosive Fun. So hopefully, if it has some cheap achievements, I definitely download it. Boomerang Fu, Cloud Punk Farming Simulator, Gray Skies is one. All right.
That was a series on one of them stations.
Gray Skies, $11.99, bro, and it looks interesting, man. Until I started reading these. Broken, hard crashes at the beginning. Okay, hard crashes on Xbox One X needs major fix. Do not buy. Lord Jesus, this game needs a lot of work. Game is trash. Game freezes and makes sure console shut off. Beware. All right, so that's what kept me from buying that. Mass Effect is on sale, but they're about to release the remaster Legendary Edition. So this week, I mean, Wolfenstein, this is in Game Pass. Wolfenstein 2, this runs phenomenal on the Xbox Series X. Native 4K, 60 frames locked. Vermintide also got updated for the Series X, and you can get it for $7.49, or you can play it in Game Pass. And then Warhammer Inquisition, which one is that? Those games is weird because they just they got a bunch of genres. But that's it for the sales on the Xbox Store. We will, update you guys.
Bayonetta 1 is on sale.
Bayonetta 1?
The remaster.
Yeah, there's a whole sale section of 100 and some plus. Stuff.
Yeah. I think it was the special, but I thought the specials was over. But
not specials is different than the deals, right?
Yeah.
They got the Xbox game specials and then the Xbox deals.
Yeah, like a Luna special.
Yeah, the Luna special. I grabbed a couple games off that. And the 2K still got this deal, which is, with the exception of 2K, you got Mafia and all this other stuff. Now these are much better games, but I have a lot of these games. I think the only games I don't have is obviously golf and WWE Battlegrounds. I would buy Mafia 3 Definitive Edition if you could get repeat achievements, but I don't think you can. So that's the reason why I don't have.
So quick, are you buying Avengers or what?
I am buying Avengers because I want the next generation, and I don't want to pay $60 for it. All right, so guys, yesterday we got was it yesterday or 2 days ago? Yesterday, Xbox revealed the new Xbox wireless headsets, which is packed with new features, a lot of stuff going on with that headset. Allows you to control party and game volume manually. It's completely wireless, meaning it syncs directly to the Xbox, also syncable to the PC and your mobile device. It has the auto mute when you're not speaking. This headset sounds like a whole lot of quality. It's compatible with DTS, Dolby Atmos, and it's going for $99.99, and it already sold out. Old Man Logan, did you pre-order one of these?
No, that's a negative. I just spent $100 on a SteelSeries just a couple months ago.
Yep.
So it's it's just, to me, it's just another headset. I'm pretty sure it'll probably be awesome, but I'm digging my SteelSeries. So maybe give it a couple years, maybe I'll pick it up.
What about you, NickBanks?
Actually, yeah, I tried to get it. As soon as I went on the website, it was sold out. you know. So I guess I'll wait until another pre-order go up.
Yeah.
I'm definitely trying to get one. You know, I like the little where you can turn it up from the side of it, just twist it.
Yeah.
The adjustable
Things
microphone.
attached next to it. Yeah, that joint tight, man. The mutant, auto mute.
And Addict, were you able to secure one of these?
No, definitely not. It was already sold out when I went to.
Gotcha. And dope is Jay. I don't know if you're a big headset guy.
Like headsets, yes. I definitely want to get my hands on this, but it's sold out right now. Hopefully it hits retailers pretty soon so I can just get it through them so I can get some rewards. That's it. But the features on paper look nice. You should definitely review it when you get your hands on it so you can let everybody know what the experience on it is going to be. And yeah, I think I might get another SteelSeries headset for the Xbox, because my old one isn't like the greatest right now for it, so I want something wireless. But whichever one comes in stock first, because the Xbox version of the SteelSeries headset is still sold out. So whichever one comes in stock first, I'll get. It doesn't matter. Yo, what's good, Salty? We got Notorious DRE in the chat. Blessed Red. We got a lot of people inside the chat right now. Make sure you guys drop a like and share the stream.
Yeah, please. 99 plus in the chat. Hit the like button, hit the share button, and subscribe if you haven't already. Chris, I mean, I know you want to get these headsets. You know, they'll work for your PC, your phone. Like, what's going on, man? You want to.
I want to get the Sony 3D Pulse headset. That's the ones I want to get.
Oh man.
Okay.
The 3D audio, you know what I mean? Next step in 3D audio. We'll see.
The other thing about this, all right, so I was able to pre-order this bad boy. As soon as I seen the trailer, I turned on my Xbox Series X, went to the store, hit the pre-order button, and boom. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm looking forward to it, bro. Now, dope. You mentioned SteelSeries. I had and Old Man Logan, y'all both mentioned SteelSeries. I got the SteelSeries. It was one of those bundle deals when I got the Xbox Series S. They bundled the SteelSeries with it, and
I got the one for the PS5. I don't got the one for the Xbox.
So I have the one for the Xbox, and it's the one
for the Xbox.
It comes, it's wireless, but it does come with like a dongle that you got to plug into the USB, right? Now,
yeah.
At launch, I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing. I was getting a lot of time, but we're 3 months in, and the battery life on it is trash now. It's like I can't get through a single game. That's the only reason what prompted me to pre-order it. Otherwise, I was gonna wait. But when I seen 15 hours battery life, and I trust Microsoft and Xbox when it comes to battery life. They've been very successful with battery life. So I was like, yeah, I'm already with the SteelSeries. I can't even get a good 3 hours out of the headsets I got now without me having to take them off, plug them up, and plug in my wired headphones. So like I said, I like the series. I like the comfort of them. I think they're cool. They look good and whatnot. And they're not that expensive, but durability it's not the greatest, at least so far with the pair that I have.
The ones that I have for my PS5, those are the second pair of SteelSeries headsets I've ever owned. So I have the ones I use on my PC, the Arxis 5. I've been using that since 2017. No issues with it. Still in great condition. Still has great sound on it. And then the one I use for my PS5, sometimes I use it on my PC if I just want to like roam around my room and have the headset wirelessly. And I use it on my PS5 as well if I'm like party chat with somebody or if I'm playing a multiplayer game on PS5, which I really do. But that headset's pretty good. I enjoy it. I mainly like the air cups on it. Like, it's the most comfortable headset I've ever owned. Like, I've had Tritons, Turtle Beaches, Astros. SteelSeries is the most comfortable headset that fits properly on my head and rests on my ears really, really nice. So that's my opinion on SteelSeries. I like the company. I like the headsets. I like the sound that I get from it. I'm willing to try out the Xbox ones though, because I don't have a dedicated pair of wireless headphones on my Xbox.
I've been using rigs for like the past 5 or 6 years. These rigs 700s, you know, they work really well. Probably the best headset I've ever used is the Rig 800s, but they have like a real bad short circuiting thing after a certain amount of time you use them, because they have one of those like retractable mics that you put up and down. And I guess doing that motion too many times, it will get a short in it. And that's like, that was the best headset I've ever had by far. It was the most comfortable. It sounded the best. the mic quality was a little subpar, but I mean, it's an Xbox Live mic. You know, it's not like
Yeah,
you're trying
the
to.
microphone-
I
The
have
microphone, the new Steel series, like the 7P, it's not the greatest. Like, I'm on my Arctis 5, and my Arctis 5 has a much more clearer like microphone in terms of like you guys being able to hear me. Like if I live stream and I use the wireless Steel series headset, the microphone's absolute garbage.
Yeah, I have, all right, so the Steel series is what I'm currently, now I think the Steel series are very comfortable. I wear them, I like the freedom to walk out of my bedroom without my controller and stuff and staying in the party. I think they're comfortable when it's, you know, powered up. It's fine. I don't have any issues, no disconnecting issues or anything like that. They're comfortable. They're my favorite headsets since the other headsets that was bought up by Addict, because I also like, you know, Playtronics, the rigs. I'm wearing those right now, actually. I've retired these from my gaming headsets to be now my primary headsets that I wear when I'm doing like the podcast or like listening and stuff. And so the rigs, I do swear by those. I think they're awesome. They're pretty durable, good quality, and they were also fairly inexpensive as well. At least the pair that I got. But yeah, I mean, and I used to be back during the early Xbox One days when the Xbox One and the PS4 first came out. It was all Turtle Beaches and Astros, but those shits never last. I had like 3 Turtle Beaches. So just my little history on the headsets. But yeah, the Xbox Series Xbox Series wireless headsets comes out March 16th. There was an Easter egg for these headphones in the Xbox Power Your Dreams campaign. He was the dude that they used to in a promotion. He was wearing them, but like that was like the first and really last time we saw them. I just assumed they were Steel series from a distance, and then but it's cool that. And the thing is, I don't understand is that why is it that they got to release in March? I mean, they already got it in some people's hands to like, you know, test, unbox, and use, and obviously it was premiered in the Power Your Dreams commercial. What's the reason for the delay, or like?
I think they wanted to gauge like how many people would actually be on board for it, and it's sold out. So they know that this piece of accessory is going to be a hit for them in terms of sales because of how impressive it looks on paper for gamers, especially a lot of people who are much more casual when it comes down to the kind of headsets that they buy. $100 is great for the features that you get from that headset, and hopefully it's able to live up to the hype. And they're gonna produce a lot more units for it for sure, because they're seeing the demand for it. Like a lot of people who own Xbox Series X or Series S want that definitive pair of headphones that comes from Microsoft, and I think this is the best looking pair of headphones they made so far.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to get them. Another special accessory came out this week, and it is the red Xbox Series controller. This I got it. I want to say 2 days ago. It came in the mail. Cool looking controller. I like the series controller is my favorite Xbox controller, my favorite rendition. I think the colors that they're doing is pretty cool. Not the biggest fan of the white accent in the back, but I do like how that the logo button that when it's lit into its respective color: red, blue, white, etc., etc. Cool controller, just in case anybody's interested. They were calling it. I think it's called the Pulse Red. Is it Pulse Red?
Yeah, Pulse Red, I believe. It looks really cool. I like it.
It's a cool looking controller. The other thing, Game Pass got some new bangers coming in there. We're gonna bangers, bro. Some bangers in Game Pass. The ones that are coming soon is you got Killer Queen Black, you got Dirt 5, that's coming, which is that was a launch title. There's also Wreckfest is going to be in there. Reason why it's not showing up because I already installed it. So Wreckfest and damn, what else? Anybody else have access to that list? I thought it would still be here because when I was last in the store, this whole list was full unless those games already came out. Matter of fact, I can check the recently added.
Wait, you said
yeah, there they
Game
go.
Pass
Recent,
games?
yep,
Elite.
recently added. There they go.
Elite. Oh yeah. Oh,
There
okay.
you go. So yeah, Deadfire Ultimate Edition they added, which is Pillars of Eternity 2, Wreckfest, which is cult classic game, Dirt 5. We talked about that. Yeah, I probably have to look at Xbox Wire for the rest of the list.
Yeah, it's Elite Dangerous is coming to console. Code Vein's coming to PC.
Oh yeah, you're right. Elite Dangerous.
Yeah.
They
I gotta
just
get that for request.
they just added the Falconeer. Yeah, there's a lot going on. A couple of some weak titles are leaving. I know Dirt 4 is leaving, but they're replacing that with Dirt 5. So quite a few things taking place. We also got some announcements from the Nintendo Direct. Obviously, we're not going to go into detail on the Nintendo Direct, but there was some multi-plats announcements, which should have impacted the Xbox Store. I believe Stubbs, which is the original Xbox game, should be up for pre-order.
Yeah, it is now. I just pre-ordered it.
Did you? Awesome.
Yep, it's 20 bucks.
Where the hell is it? It's not on my store.
It's in the coming soon section.
Am I not in the coming soon section? I am. Shit. Oh yeah, you're right. All right, it's $20. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a couple. It's like I think it's like the second or third layer down.
Yeah. Okay. That and the Ninja Gating collection.
Oh yeah, I just seen that.
Also releasing. I mean, the games are backwards compatible. They was in Game Pass, but it's funny. It leaves Game Pass and they get an announcement for like a collection. Now this game this should be a day one Game Pass. So I'm not even sure why. Wasn't this like an original OG Xbox exclusive when it came out?
Are you talking about Ninja Gaiden or
A Stubbs the zombie.
Oh yeah, it was the original Xbox.
Yo, that Nintendo Direct, that shit was mid.
Oh, it was super mid.
I heard.
Super
As far as a
disappointing.
few announcements that I'm excited for, obviously, Normal Heroes 3 looks good. Skyward Sword, I was excited for it, but when I seen that it's just a lazy ass port,
It's
right?
$60
That they charge you
too.
$60 for a lazy ass port. Yeah, then people want to get mad at Sony when they do fully upgraded remasters. And then Nintendo's over here doing $60 for lazy ass ports. And
Nintendo does it because they know they can get away with it.
And
Yeah,
what's sad is that's probably the worst Zelda that they're trying to sell $60.
The thing with Skyward Sword to me, because I mean, you Zelda fan, especially all of 3D Zelda.
Chris, you're going in and out.
Yeah,
I used to say them.
Skyward Sword to me
Getting
is
frozen.
weakest of the.
You said it's the weakest of the franchise, Skyward Sword 2?
I literally just said that.
Probably is. I don't know, but
I couldn't
It
name
is, it is.
like especially the 3D realm. Like I can't name one Zelda that's worse than Skyward Sword. Like
Shout out to Kiop901. I think I said that correct. For $5, it's smooth. If you have the SteelSeries Arctis 7X, that's a 24-hour battery headset. You must have a defective unit, sir. Possibly. I don't know if that's the one I have. I don't know which one they bundled with the Series S from GameStop. So I like it, but it just doesn't last as long as I like it too.
They should have. I thought they were gonna announce a Diamond and Pearl remake for Switch, and they didn't. Like there were so many people hyped for it. I was hyped for that to see if that was gonna be announced, and it's just another month, another year of just disappointing
That-
Pokemon news or non-Pokemon news.
The Xbox, the MLB The Show is having this a tech test February 23rd through I think March 4th. If you're an insider, you can sign up for it. I signed up for it. I installed. I think I have it installed. But so we'll get some early access to MLB The Show, which is cool. It's gonna be
kinda
that.
interesting because you have to actually partner with Microsoft to do betas like that in the
Yeah.
Insider program. So Sony's partnering with Microsoft to do inside access to their first party studio game.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's spooky. I ain't spending no $69.99 for it though, so we'll see how that plays out. It Takes Two has just went gold, I think today. That's the co-op game from the co-op dev Joseph Fares. And Addict, are you have any interest of getting this game? I think it comes out March.
March.
Exactly in March.
Stream it?
I mean, it's the only reason why we would play it. Yeah, March 26th. We can definitely stream it.
Or are you just gonna say you're gonna stream it till it comes out and you never stream it?
Didn't we stream their last game though?
Yeah.
All right then. Like, I mean, they showed promise. I mean, I'm not gonna like hold you. I'll tell you if I don't want to stream it or don't feel like streaming a game.
Yeah, I'll try it out. I think the art direction, the direction he went with the company in general, isn't towards my taste. But
yeah.
Considering how good A Ways Out is, I'll try it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited for it. It's a game that I'm looking to play with my wife. So I got it all pre-ordered and ready to go.
Yeah, nice. You be quick on these pre-orders, don't you, old man?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to buy them, so it's like I don't care.
Yeah. Yikes! What else happened? There was another. I feel like there was another. Oh, tomorrow. Second extension gets his Xbox gameplay reveal. Looking forward to that.
Yep, can't wait to see how that runs on Series X.
Yeah,
we should definitely get on that. And
bro, I'm ready. Is that going to be on Game Pass?
That's the thing. It's up in the air right now. I don't think it's going to get in there right now.
Yeah.
But if it does, that's going to be great. I'll pay for it though. I don't mind paying for that game and playing co-op with you guys.
I mean, second extension.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one.
I think
it was in that May event that Xbox had the Xbox Series X first look.
The May showcase.
Yeah, with the dinosaurs.
The dinosaurs, first person shooter.
I think the biggest right now is Final Fantasy VII Remake coming out for Xbox in the next couple months? Like, what's going on with that?
Well, doesn't sound like it. Fuck Square Enix and fuck Final Fantasy as a franchise. All right, so I say that to say this.
Damn.
I love that game.
Let them know how you feel.
I say that to say this. So Square Enix came out today. What Final Fantasy that everybody's asking for was it 14, 13 to 14, right? And didn't they promise us this game?
Well, technically, Microsoft promised us this game, so.
Okay, because that's when they were kept announcing all these Final Fantasies that would come up on Xbox and Game Pass.
That was the XO that they announced.
All those Final Fantasies, yeah.
So it was never formally announced. It was just like one of those things we're working on, it kind of things.
So Square Enix came out and said, it is not a priority for they don't have an update on Final Fantasy 14 for Xbox because it's not a priority. They don't have the resources to port it over. Yet they put that bitch on Mac. They made these special ass Final Fantasy games for Nintendo. They already fucking breastfeeding Sony with different Final Fantasy games. And they're here they are, treating Xbox consumers like third class citizens, and I'm not a fan of Final Fantasy. I'm not even a fan of Square Enix. There's only one franchise personally for me that I love from Square Enix, and that is Tomb Raider. That if it had not been for Tomb Raider, I won't have titles from Square Enix. Like that whole Final Fantasy shit, that it's just not me. Well, is it nice to see it on Xbox? Yeah, sure. But as long as they keep producing Tomb Raiders, I'm good. But so I just thought it was just it's just stupid. It's like I don't get it. Some of these publishers rub me the wrong way. It's a lot of ones that usually work either closely with Sony or they're Japanese based.
Square Enix and Platinum Games, you hate the both of them.
I can't stand them.
I can't stand Platinum Games either.
I don't know why, but for some reason, I wouldn't be surprised in the next year and a half, Square Sony buys a huge stock in Square Enix.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did the same thing either.
They should just buy them if they can afford them. Take them and Remedy's asses. Take them both. If there was a fucking video game publisher developer draft, I would love for Square Enix and Remedy to take their asses to Sony.
I think Sony could definitely afford Square Enix, but I do think that it would take a lot of the the liquid assets they have.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that the remake might not come to Xbox because I'd drop another 60 bucks on that thing on Xbox. I loved it on PlayStation.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for that PS5 remaster before I even touch that shit. Like, I own the game because I bought it on sale. But people told me, yo, PS5 upgrade coming soon. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to wait for that update to come out, then I'll play it.
I put 40 hours in that game in one weekend. So. I lived and breathed Final Fantasy VII. And then I'm not even into Final Fantasy games. But that one just, it just the whole piqued my interest. So I just
I'm starting to work my way into them because I never really got into them when I was younger. But I'm familiar with a lot of the characters because I played a lot of Dissidia on PSP.
I mean, at this point, we don't get 16, we don't get 14, we don't get 7. For right now, we don't get 7 Remake 2. That's most likely like Final Fantasy might as well be a PlayStation exclusive at this point, like a full blown the brand itself.
It was just weird that it seemed like Square Enix and Xbox were getting all buddy because they're like, hey, look at Final Fantasy 7, 8,
Kingdom Hearts,
and 12, and Kingdom Hearts, and all this stuff coming out on Game Pass, day one. And then it's like, but the other, like, the big new stuff that people want, they're just like, nah.
Yeah, isn't Project Athia like a full 2-year exclusive? Like, is at that point, don't even fucking bring it over here. Like, that's my attitude about it. Like, if you're gonna do like egregious, damn, I can't even speak. What's the word I'm trying to say?
Aggressive.
Not aggressive, but
egregious.
Yeah, egregious. If you're gonna do deals like that, just take the whole fucking thing. like don't do that shit. Like, I hate deals like that where you're gonna take it where it's not like a full exclusive, but it's like damn near half a decade exclusive, or if it's a situation where they literally make missions or gameplay elements exclusive to a platform.
Yeah, it's kind of a double standard because like people will like say, oh, why are you guys so worried about like Final Fantasy coming to Xbox? And it's like, hey, we're interested in those games, but when something like Tomb Raider happened on Xbox One, and it wasn't even timed exclusive for that long. Yeah, everybody like got their panties in a bunch and bitched so hard about that. It's like, oh, that's anti-consumer. But when Sony does it, it's like, oh, don't worry about it.
My issue with the way people go about this, it's like, oh, Xbox people don't even buy these type of games. Yeah, because we don't get them. Like, we get literally the bottom of the barrel ones, and we get occasionally good ones. We got Dragon Quest 11 like 2 years after the damn thing came out. Like, you can't, like, if you're literally spoon feeding franchises like this to a crowd, they're never going to get that hype when they first got it. Most of them probably already played it on another platform. Most people probably got spoiled on Twitch Bite, and they're not going to buy it. And let's be real here. A 1.5 year old game, a lot of people are already on to other stuff. So,
yeah,
it's like too little, too late.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
That's bullshit because my preferred platform is Xbox, but I still bought it on PlayStation. I played it.
That's what he was saying, though.
It's just stupid.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of like a lot of these deals that be coming out. So another thing that happened. So Xbox major announcement. But before we get into that, we got over 100 people watching and only 38 likes and only 2 dislikes. Like, are you guys all watching from like a fucking television where you can't like it? Like, I don't know. Like, hit the like button.
You can like it on the televisions.
Oh, you can?
But hit that like button, please. All right, so Xbox delivering the frame rate boosting update. Something they promised a while ago. They've been talking about this. They first demoed it with Fallout 4 back in October. Now they're slowly rolling out with backwards compatible titles. Today they announced and revealed, that they've doubled or even quadrupled the frame rate on select games. Those games were Sniper Elite 4, Watch Dogs 2, UFC 4, New Super Lucky's Tale, and the other one is Far Cry 4. So right now, those 5 games at system level is either running at 60 or 120 frames per second, which is, you know, pretty impressive. I'll say this, and then the floor is everyone else's. It is disappointing because this one is only 5, and then the 5 that they pick, they're all like very, you know, dated games. These games like predate the Xbox One X. Like they're like, these are like first generation Xbox One games. And when I say first generation, this is like 900p, 720p era games, and it's cool to see them run at 60 frames per second. I got to test a couple of them. The only 2 of them were more so that were Xbox One X generation, which is UFC 4, which came out in, I think, November, and then new Super Lucky Tales came out in like maybe September, or I know it was a Game Pass Day 1 game, but that game was already running at 4K 60 on the Xbox One X, and now it runs at 4K 120 frames per second. And that same game, new Super Lucky Tales, was 1080p 30 on the Xbox One S, and now on the Xbox Series S is 1080p 120 frames per second. That's impressive. I will say that. And then now in UFC 4, which featured on the Xbox One X 2 modes, a performance mode at 1080p 60 and a resolution mode at 1800p 30, you now get both modes at 60, 1800p 60 and resolution mode with this update. And then obviously if you still bother to use the 1080p mode, it's not upgraded to 120. It's still 1080 60. So those were, I would say, the more impressive ones. And they promise that, you know, this is just the beginning. They're going to be updating these, and they'll be updated like on week-to-week basis, pretty much like how backwards compatibility was. Remember, they were updating the library like I feel like every week with new games added. So there's a whole lot of games I want to see, and we're gonna get into discussion. But NickBanks, let's start with you, because I know you trying to get this thing started, and this is one of the features that impacts you and like Swans the most, because now it's a situation where your console is now being able to take full advantage, and for the most part, of the 3 of the 5 games it's the same resolution, same frame rate as the Series X.
Oh, so 1080p 60 for us with the S, and people with the X is 4K 60.
No,
4K 120.
Only for one. So, for example, like games like Watch Dogs 2 and Sniper Elite and like Far Cry 4, since those were Gen 1 Xbox One games, they're the same frame rate and resolution on both Series X and S. Like those games didn't have like dynamic resolution and stuff like that. They were either straight 900p or 1080p, and they were at like 30 frames per second. Now they're just 1080p 60 on, you know, both Series S and Series X. It's still the later games that had like Xbox One X versions is the ones where there's more of a drastic difference in resolution bumps, like the UFC and the new Super Lucky Tales. But everything else beyond those 2 is the same resolution, same frame rate between the Series X and Series S.
But yeah, I mean, shoot, I wish it was a lot more games like that Spec Ops that we just played.
Yeah, man, that game was lit.
That would have been a lot better.
Yeah,
60.
Absolutely. Has anyone tried the game since the update? I know it went live today, and you kind of had to do a little trick to it, because people like assumed they launched the game if they had it installed and it was still like the 30 frames version. I had to reset my Xbox and then relaunch the game, and it was running as it should. Anybody else check this out?
No, not really, because I was at work today, then I hit up the gym right after work, so I haven't had time to try it out. But I'm definitely gonna look into trying out Far Cry 5.
Yeah.
I think this is very impressive, and it really goes to show you that they're really invested in making sure that their features of their console was just head in water, like above everything else. Like the capability of the system, especially with machine learning, is really, really good. How they're able to make games boost up to 60, even at sometimes 120, without even having a patch or an update come out from the developer. There's nothing that the dev has to do to make the game run at 60 frames per second or even 120. So that's a great thing. The next thing I want to see what they're able to do is some sort of resolution scaling, right? So some sort of AI machine learning image reconstruction where they're able to make a lot of these games that weren't supported on One X or even Series X to run at a higher resolution. Hopefully they're able to do that pretty soon as well, and that's going to take a bit more research and development into doing that with that backwards compatibility team. But it's like I've been telling people, like the Xbox's version of backwards compatibility has been cultivated over many years, since 2015, and they have a dedicated team invested in doing that, which is pretty great. PlayStation just, hey, we're going to run the PS4 version of the game, and it's more of a title by title basis of when they're going to do an update for a game. So like we have Ghost of Tsushima, Days Gone, recently God of War. Those games are being updated to work on PS5 and leverage the architecture that they have. But Microsoft just has an entire team dedicated for that, so the devs don't have to do any additional work for that, which is really great.
Yeah, very impressive for sure. I'm not even gonna like front. When I saw this, I thought it was dope, and it's just like it's crazy because what happens is you eventually you're gonna come to a point where there's all these like pretty much games that we can now freely go back into, and there's games we didn't play. Some of these games are in Game Pass and shit like that. And so right now the list currently as we speak, personally to me it's not that impressive, but it does open up the door like for games like Red Dead Redemption 2 and freaking Batman Arkham Knight. That was the newest one, I think, that came out in 2015. That game was visually stunning. Now if we get a 60 frames update on that would be clutch. I mean, Rise to the Rome. I mean, you ain't gotta. I mean, the game is currently 900p. Fuck the resolution boost, right? Because I played Rise to the Rome on both the Series S and Series X. It looks fine, but if they upgrade the frame rate on it, it's fine. Man. Like, I'd be very happy with that. And I'm thinking of other games that they could do. I said Grand Theft Auto in my video, but I know they're releasing the Series X and PS5 version, so they declined for Xbox to even do it to their game since they're working on a solution. And man, it just opens up a floodgate of what you can do. I know a lot of people hate on old games that Xbox does a lot to make your existing gaming library play better, and this is special because right now all people are doing right now, playing right now, what were people hyping last week? The Division 2, God of War, and Ghost of Tsushima, and fucking all these old ass games, right? That developers had to go back and unlock the frame rate so new generation players can like experience these games at a higher fidelity. Where we're at a point now, sky's the limit, because we have to request devs to go back, like freaking 4A games. They have to go back and patch their game for PS5 and Series X. What Microsoft is doing with these games, this no dev input. They just gotta get permission. They'll send them a copy of the game of how it's running. If the devs like it, it's fine. Or they'll find like a bug where the game was alright, it can't run it at it because it breaks the game. Then it is what it is. But like, this is to a point where they're just gotta get permission. Hey, can we like make your game run better? Like, and they do it, and that's it. As long as it works, it's good. It's in about a year. I'm gonna tell you this. In a year or less, it will be exactly like the auto HDR feature. You know how we could toggle this auto HDR feature? Like, all right, we turn it on. Right now, we'll just be a toggle and FPS boost, and pretty much more than 50% of the games would take advantage of it. So, yep. Hey, I can't knock it. I can't hate on it, Brent. I want to get who opinion I want to get. Chris, what's your opinion on this when this news broke out?
So, I mean, it's a cool feature. Like, I can't hate on like playing on old games because I'll go back and play old games all the time. So I can't never hate on that. It's a cool feature. Obviously, like what Jay said, Xbox is like definitely more invested in game preservation. So that's good, man. That's a cool thing. You know what I mean? That Xbox is doing. So I can't really hate on it. You know what I mean? So like to me, like I prefer more like update remasters, like not like what they're doing with Skyward Sword. You know what I mean? That's a lazy ass port because like what they did with like Spider-Man, what they're doing with Near Replicant. You know what I mean? Like those are the ones that I prefer. But when you said that people are just hyped to play old games like Division 2 and God of War and stuff like that, that's not everybody, sir. Because I've been shouting out Yeast 9. You know what I mean? For a couple weeks, I've been shouting out Persona 5 Striker that's coming out. I think this week or next week or whatever. I don't know. I got that pre-ordered. Like Hitman just came out. Before that, Immortal Phoenix Rising came out. Before that, then before that, the new consoles with all these new games and shit. Assassin's Creed, Demon Souls came out. So I don't know, man. There's a lot of new games to play. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of new next gen games though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The next actual next generation game. The verdict is still out on this one. Is Returnal. The verdict is completely out, so we don't know. But to me, the actual one that's going to be the showcase is Ratchet and Clank, as far as like a true next gen game. So. But yeah, cool. I like it. I like from what I understand, they doubled the frames, right? But the resolution stayed the same. So if it's like 900p, it'll stay 900p.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't. Cool feature, but you know what I mean. I like old and new at the same time.
And who else did we? Logan, man, what were your thoughts when this first took place? I know you play a lot, you stream a lot. You're kind of versed in the different type of games that you're playing and whatnot.
It kind of makes me anxious to play anything old right now, because if you just think about it, if they're going to be updating this list, which first off, this list, these 5 that they brought out, I just feel is very, very obscure titles to launch this with. So I'm not 100% sure what drove them to pick these 5. I feel like there's probably a lot of other fan favorites that they out there that could have got the 60 FPS boost before these ones. Maybe it was just the easiest ones to do right off the bat. So it kind of makes me anxious because it's they're gonna start rolling out these things, but I'm still gonna be playing games in the meantime, and then they're gonna be like, oh no, this game that I just beat at 30 FPS and whatever is now running at 60 FPS. So I'm like, well, you kind of you're kind of worried about missing out on that experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Obviously, overall, it's a great idea. It's great that Xbox is doing that. Just bringing life to new games. Making them more modern. Kind of giving what the developers' visions for these games, was back when these games first launched, to the full fruition. So, instead of games running at 30 FPS or below, with stuttering stuff, they'd be at a nice stable 60 FPS and be the more proper way. Hopefully Sony does that a little bit more for their stuff too. They did Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, all that stuff's good. I kind of wish that they would do, because I've been playing through Horizon Zero Dawn recently. That game, it does not run at 60 FPS on the PS5.
No, not yet.
Yeah,
not yet. So it's
I think they're trying to do. I think they're trying to do probably upgrade remasters. You know what I mean? If this stuff is successful, for Sony, if they, you know what I mean? 'Cause Sony will get away with doing this. So if it's successful for Sony, they're gonna be doing Bloodborne upgrade. You know what I mean? That you're gonna have to pay for $50 on PS5. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So this ain't the the last time that this is gonna continue to happen. A lot of the industry is gonna keep doing this. Hell yeah.
So yeah, but I was kind of a little disappointed because I was trying to get into that because I was trying to prepare myself for Forbidden West. Hopefully, it comes out this year because I never beat Horizon Zero Dawn. I was like, man,
I love that game, bro.
I got it in the I got it in the frame rate mode, but I can just tell I was like, on the PS5, it just feels off. It definitely doesn't hit that 60 FPS mark. But no, I like game preservation is a real thing. Everybody talks about new games, but the old games will still always be there, and everybody likes revisiting them. There's games that I go back every year and play them.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Nolan Baptiste. He says, I think the guest just said these average games first and keep the bigger names in secret. What?
It's literally gonna be like how backwards compatibility was at first, where it was a little mid at first, and then you started seeing those bangers like the Call of Duty, Skates, Saints Row 1 and 2. Like you're gonna start seeing those games, like those Xbox One games that didn't run well or just are like capped at 30, and you're like, oh shit, this game has a 120 FPS mode. Oh shit, this game has a 60 FPS mode now. That's great because you as the end user, you don't have to do shit. You just install the game, you just play it. Yeah. So it's actually utilizing the power of your system, where Sony's approach is a bit different, where it's like, hey, the developers have to do the work. Microsoft is like, no, we have a dedicated backwards compatibility team. What we're going to do is we're going to continually innovate on the underlying technology that we have and utilize that power.
Yeah. No, absolutely. The thing about this is that, it's impressive. It does automatically give them, an advantage for pretty much to your library. You know what I mean? It'd be nice to see, if Sony could, come up with a solution like this, because they have some previous games in their, the between 2014 2015 era that were great that I would love to play at a higher frame rate.
Even before that, there's games on the PS3.
Oh yeah.
I would I want to Resistance, remastered version or make it back, but I don't know. I definitely agree. Sony has a really great library. You know what I mean? Their past library is amazing. So they definitely need to, in my opinion, kind of do a better job at video game preservation. At least put them out digitally or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can still buy them and play them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want to. Yeah, I want to go back and play some of these, games on the PS1, PS2, PS3. Hell yeah.
Who else did we got? Addict. Just like to get your opinion on this.
Oh, it comes to this, man. It's nothing I really. It's cool that it's there. I guess maybe if they had titles that I cared about more, it would have been more relevant to me. I beat Far Cry. Yeah, I've beat a lot of these games. There's only 5? Yeah, 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. Far Cry was the only one that could have got me, but I already beat Far Cry. Give me Fallout New Vegas, and then we're talking.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a Fallout New Vegas in there. I still gotta finish that myself. I've never beaten Fallout New Vegas. I've never beaten a Fallout game. Period.
But it's the good thing about it is it shows that they were serious about that. We're not abandoning these titles just because they're on the program, and not only do they make sure that they get on the program, but now they're going above and beyond to make sure they play as best as they possibly can.
Yeah.
So more options is always good. There's no getting around that. You got there's a lot of people coming into we're very big selfish individuals. This is what I want. This is what I want. But how many people coming into the generation? How many people finally starting to game and stuff? My brother, he's 18. He just started gaming 3 years ago. He probably ain't never played Far Cry. Well, I think he has, but you get the point.
Yeah. No, absolutely. MK trailer tomorrow. Greekhead 188 says for $2. What is he referring to?
The Mortal Kombat trailer? Oh, is it the Mortal Kombat movie trailer or the game or a new game?
The movie.
I was like, I think it's a new game.
The game has really full out with content right now, so yeah.
Yeah, I know there's the trailer. I think the movie's coming out both in theaters and on HBO Max. It kind of the at least the posters, the movie poster I saw, dude, looked like it was straight out of the game.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, damn. I was kind of excited for it actually.
But I'll say this, and a shout out to both, Xbox and PlayStation for this, because since this generation, since majority of the games have been 60 frames per second or higher, like I can now instantly know if a game is 60. Like I played the game Black Mirror, right? Not Black Mirror, Twin Mirror.
Twin Mirror.
Twin Mirror. Good game.
Which can you just real quick give me a brief synopsis of that game?
Okay.
I saw you was playing and I was like, what?
Yeah,
I didn't
dude.
even know what it was.
I kept looking at it. I seen that it was published by Dotnod, and it came out around the same time. I mean, actually, it came out after Tell Me Why, and Bandai published it. So I'm like, and Bandai's been jumping on these like story-based games, like they're doing stuff with what's the people that did Until Dawn? They did like 3 games, the anthology series with them.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're reaching out to Dotnod for content. So Twin Mirror, really, it's not comparable to Life is Strange and shit like that. It's not. It's easily Dotnod's best looking game. The story is different from what you would get from a Dotnod story. You know what I mean? It's not this whole social, how they have these themes of it's
very like real life.
Yeah, like this is a situation is about a guy who returns to town after leaving, after his fiance it's not his fiance because she didn't say yeah when he proposed. So
already hit.
So he leaves because he was heartbroken for 2 years. He comes back because his good friend I guess passed away in a car accident, but there was a lot of questions surrounding it, and he gets kind of looped in to sort of find himself investigating it, and it just he's battling throughout this thing, his inner self. It's clearly about people who have go through mental issues, because throughout this whole story, he's battling who he is as a person, and he has to have conversations with himself. And in movies they'll put a version of this person's self, but he's talking to himself, but it's just a version that thinks differently. So he's having these constant battles with himself of how he should respond to people that you interact with in the game. And the story was dope. I planned to just give it a try, and I ended up playing the whole damn thing through the same night.
Yeah, I mean, that's not bad.
It's not. The only thing that bugged me is because you do have to go through these psychological moments, and I feel like sometimes it breaks the immersion a little bit because it kind of takes a while to kind of see what's going on. But visually, it looks great. 4K, 60 frames per second. Great story. The story is awesome. That's all I got to say about it. The way the story unfolds, you got to play through it multiple times because it does have different endings. Personally, though, I think when I finished it, I got the best possible ending, and I did it accidentally. It just happened to work out that way, because it would have to go all to hell from whatever if I do anything opposite. So I'll check it out to try to get the rest of the achievements, but it's a good game. I would check it out. Hopefully it'll go in the Game Pass soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, I was about to ask, how much was it?
It was the game. I got it on sale, dude. How much did I pay for it? Because it was a part of the sale. I think I might have paid 20 for it, because I think the game was originally $29.99 or $39.99.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, this game pretty much playing on Xbox and PlayStation made me kind of really used to 60. So anytime I'm playing on a game that's 30, it's all right, nope, this ain't it. Or if I'm playing a game that's 60, it's all right, this is it. And I can just literally confirm just by playing. And I'm all right, this is cool. This is great. All right, so we're gonna get into one of the final topics. Unless anybody have any questions, if you have questions in the super chat, turn that thing of color and we'll answer it. But apparently, Dope Boy, help me out with this. So Xbox Bethesda deal Spooked Stadia to closing down their studios. What's going on, bro?
I didn't hear anything about that.
You didn't?
Honestly, no, I didn't. What's the
okay
the thing on that?
Studio, because they're nope, we out.
Let me bring up the quote. So, all right, but you know what happened with Stadia, like how?
Oh yeah, they closed down their first party studios, which was bound to happen. Google Stadia adoption rate wasn't there. That's the first thing too. That they can't compete in terms of content. It's funny because people will say, oh, Xbox has no games, Xbox has no games. But when you really think about the IPs that Microsoft has under their belts versus like Google, what does Google have to compete with even Microsoft? And we can't even get into the conversation about Sony and Nintendo. You can't even beat Xbox in terms of content, which is pretty fucking sad. And two, Google does not know how to manage its assets. Every time Google does an acquisition or try to break into a market like this, they fail miserably. And they wind up selling off the IP anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, it says like, so what happened was Phil Harrison, you know, like emailed the teams letting them know how good of a job they were doing. This is prior to them, you know, closing out. Like, yeah, we're you know, we're hitting the home stretch, and you know, we're gonna update you guys on what's next for our investments into their first party. And 2 days later, they announced that they were not investing further into their first party, which obviously that all their Google Studios, internal studios, are kind of assed out. Some of the articles ran with, they said, they said Microsoft's acquisition of ZeniMax Media, which counts Bethesda and id Software among its numerous subsidiaries. Oh, I can't even talk today. And the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and the rising costs of game development were brought up by Harrison of why they pretty much decided to axe it. It said video game development cycles take several years, but in the end, Stadia experience lasted just 14 months. Kotaku sources pointed out a severe lack of resources, difficulty securing necessary hardware and software, and a frozen headcount throughout 2020 as major problems for development, despite Stadia's initial ambitions to release original exclusive. If you started,
you know, another thing, Apple Arcade has lasted longer than Google Stadia, and is more successful than Google Stadia. That's a damn shame.
Yeah, it's
Do y'all know who Shannon Stud still is?
Nah, who's that?
She was she used to run Sony Santa Monica. Remember, she left Sony Santa Monica to join Google Stadia. You don't remember that?
Oh man.
Yeah, she joined and she got her own studio over there at Google Stadia, and guess what? Shut down. Right?
Got kicked out of the fucking can.
Yeah. So now Yumi Yang is in charge of it now. So nah, you can't come back. You left.
See, the thing is, I don't understand. Like when people like, I get like when you're developers and you're head leads and you guys are trying new experiences with, like, you know, Google, Amazon, like you're like, you know what? It's like when you leave from something that's established, like a Sony, you know, Nintendo, Microsoft, and to go for these experimental projects, it's like, I wonder what the thought process is and what the trust level is. Are you doing it because it's Google? And you're like, you know what? Google is just as big as this. I mean, this is definitely, or like, is the upfront money that they offer like the thing that moved the needle? Like, I'm just curious on when people who are at like work for companies that's been established for years and years, and they're working inside in a business that's been operating for years and years and years, and they go and they jump ship to these startups. I'm just curious on what the thought process is when that takes place, because obviously Phil Harrison is the king of jumping ship to ship, and he's usually the man that's there when it's failing. Like, he was there during the PS3 era with Sony. He was there during the Xbox era with the late 360, early Xbox One days, and then obviously he launched freaking Stadia. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, that guy doesn't need to be hired. He doesn't need to be in leadership. He needs to be a
It's
fucking
a bad
worker.
omen, apparently.
That's the issue. That's the issue with corporate America. These guys can hop from company to company and blame it on all these different external factors instead of looking at themselves and saying, "Hey, how could I have made this situation better?"
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing, because these guys can go from ship to ship, making millions of dollars a year, giving themselves pay raises and bonuses, and then when shit hits the fan, they can blame everybody else. Mm-hmm. They can fire a bunch of studios but still keep their job, and just jump ship before everything hits the ground. It's a damn shame. And that guy, he doesn't deserve a fucking job in this industry. He doesn't know what he's doing, clearly.
Yeah, man. But you know, somebody hired like freaking Don Matrick a week after he left Xbox. I mean, so apparently,
Yeah, but what insight can they give you? What insight can a guy like that give you when he's clearly failed miserably? Like, he doesn't need to be in a leadership position, especially as an executive, because all that power that you get as an executive, it starts to tank the rest of the company. We see how Microsoft was at the beginning of the Xbox One generation. We see how Sony was with the PlayStation division during PS3, and how toxic that environment was, and how much of a loss they suffered from that generation.
Yeah, no, absolutely, definitely agree with that sentiment there. So there was also questions that came up about this Bethesda deal that people will love to freaking ask, and we know the deal is supposed to be final by March 5th if it's not already. People were confused about the whole sub merger and all this other stuff, and you know that's been clarified. But people are still under the impression that this is a people are still under the impression that this thing is pretty much that their games are still coming to PlayStation for some reason. The question that's commonly asked, and I don't know why that this is like still coming up, but like, is there any thoughts? You guys have any thoughts on like on that at all?
Well, I think it's that sentiment of Bethesda still has to pick games on Sony. For some titles, yes, but not everything, right? So people need to be a bit more specific in terms of what they're talking about with that. Is the majority of games that Bethesda's going to make under Microsoft going to be on PlayStation? No. That's not going to happen. They have to secure their own IP to make the Xbox Series X and Series S as lucrative as possible, and that's by securing content exclusive to that platform, like Sony's been doing for many, many years. That's what's going to make people flock to your console. And the second thing is, that's like me saying, oh, if Sony acquires Take-Two still has to put games on Xbox. Yeah. That's not fucking true. Like, so it's a bit of a false equivalency right there in itself. And everybody knows that if Sony was to do a big acquisition, just like how Microsoft did, if somebody was to come out on Twitter and say, oh, whatever company that Sony acquired has to put their games on Xbox as well, they're gonna be. You gotta have people like Chris be like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about?
Okay, so I've always said this.
Say I'm lying.
No, this is what I've always said. I've always said Microsoft, they bought Bethesda, all of their games should be exclusive to Xbox, right? Or the Xbox ecosystem, right? Xbox PC or whatever, right? Just exclude PlayStation. Because contrary to popular belief, exclusives aren't anti-consumers. Exclusives are healthy for the consumers and the industry, right? Because it gives you more competition, and depending on which platform you decide to invest your games, right, or to invest in, right, then the company has to provide, an incentive to be like, hey, this is what we're giving you because, you and you only because, you decided to invest in us. That's what I believe. You know what I mean? So honestly, I think, yeah, all their games, but honestly, I don't know because the Forza Horizon, Playground Dev, he said, yeah, there's games that are being made right now before the acquisitions are gonna still be on PlayStation. You know what I mean? So we're not gonna find out if Bethesda games are truly gonna be exclusives until a couple years from now, when there's like Starfield. Like, I think that shit's gonna come to PlayStation. Like, I think, like, you know what I mean? I think that those games, but after that, who knows, right? After that, Microsoft will be like, I don't know. So we'll see exactly what happens. But I'm under the belief that, yeah, drive more competition, man, and have these exclusive games. And if you want to play them, either buy Xbox or get a PC. You know what I mean? Those are your options. Just like if you want to play, these games over here, on PlayStation, get a PlayStation. You want to play Final Fantasy 16, get a PlayStation. Final Fantasy 14 online MMO, get a PlayStation or PC, because it's not coming to Xbox. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this Bethesda thing. I don't know. It's hard to call right now, but for the next few games, like there's 2 Bethesda games right now that are going to be exclusive to Sony for a whole year. Like, you know what I mean? So this is going to be a while before, you know, like we truly know what's really going to go on with Bethesda at Microsoft.
Yeah, that's true.
And there was a $5 super chat because these acquisition rumors are all over the place. Nolan Baptiste says, "What do you guys think about the rumor of Xbox acquiring Techland?" NickBanks, let's let me hear NickBanks on thoughts on that.
Community manager already debunked that, though.
Yeah, he debunked it, but I hope they get, like, because they've been having issues, man. So I don't know. They need some help over there.
I wouldn't even want to acquire them at this point.
Just saying, if something like that was going on, I don't know if it is. I don't know if it's not. Even if the community manager had knowledge of that, he is definitely not going to go on Twitter and say, "Yeah, they're buying us." Like he's not happening.
He's not going to go out saying nothing.
I mean, Playground Games, when there was rumors that Microsoft was buying, then they came out and said, "We're not interested in being bought right now." And then 3 months later, they were bought. So
I just think with Techland in particular, we need to see Dying Light 2 like more of it right now, because they did the gameplay demo back in 2019, and I'm a huge Dying Light 1 fan, despite the dialogue in that game not being the greatest, but the gameplay of it, like the animations, like, it was really fun playing that game. The parkour and the skill tree system, and actually like leveling up your character was really nice, and blueprints, like it was a very nice concept. And Dying Light 2, that's a game I was very excited for, but they delayed it indefinitely, and yeah, we're just waiting to see what that game is first. So let's see what Dying Light 2 is. Let's see how it plays out and how it pans out, and then let's see about the acquisition down the line. Not right now. It's very up in the air with them.
Is if Microsoft wants to purchase a company like this, their best bet is now before they strike gold.
Yeah.
Let's say Dying Light 2 comes out and it's a huge hit. The price of the company probably just doubled. So it's like it's definitely, it's literally a game of gambling, because it's like, do we want to spend this money now, or do we want to wait and see if this game is a hit?
So my thing is about this game, though, because I thought Dying Light 2 was a multi-plat, and the rumors has it as being a Xbox exclusive, like, and that's the reason why they're securing the exclusive rights to it, and then they're also in process of trying to acquire them. Like, do we even believe that this is an exclusive game? From what I remember, it was
at the end of the day,
probably marketing rights. Maybe
the biggest thing we don't know is we don't know what kind of deals they've made with the publisher, because like, even if Microsoft buys Techland, like, unless they can make some kind of deal with the current publisher, we're going to get another Wasteland scenario. We're going to get another, Outer World scenario. Like, I'm not going to completely roll it out and say it's 100% not going to ever happen, because money opens doors. And right now, clearly, Microsoft had, like, they're allowing them to throw that money out there. And if you have enough money, publishers will look the other way and they'll rewrite new contracts. Because at the end of the day, that's the whole reason the publisher wants these games on multiple platforms, because they want that money from the multiple platforms. But if you give them that money up front, they'll be like, okay, that's cool, that's good, like, we're good with that. Like, it's just, at the end of the day, are they going to be able to give the type of money that's going to be required to get that only on their console? And now, when the Outer Worlds and that stuff came out, they definitely couldn't. But I don't know if they'll be able to do it this. I mean, the whole Techland thing, the only thing I could say is, like, I'm pretty confident that, they were in talks with them, but I don't know what came out that. And the fact that this Bethesda thing's still going on, I don't think a lot of people know what's going on right now. So
yeah. So I'm looking forward to see what happens once also that Bethesda deal closes. But yeah, I mean, there's no real, like, comment on the Techland situation. I know a lot of people talked about it, and pretty much, they said it's happening, and we've seen community managers, we've seen Twitter accounts, official Twitter accounts in particular, games and studios deny acquisition rumors just to find out they've been acquired anyway. So I mean,
can you give me an example of that? Because that doesn't happen that often.
Actually, well, MLB the Show said they will always be on PlayStation, right on Twitter, and that turned out to, be different. And then also we had the Playground things. We also had
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider.
That was announced as a multiplayer.
Who else? I could have sworn there was somebody else that was in. There was like a rumor before it was actually official, and they denied it. I know. I mean, obviously Bungie has denied it, but there is like evidence that talks happened. So I mean, I don't know, man.
You've seen what happened. It's on Destiny's on Game Pass.
Dying Light 2 is going to be multi-plat. Even if Microsoft buys them, it will still remain multi-plat until probably like the next project after that. But yeah, apparently that studio is having a lot of issues. I enjoyed the first Dying Light. I thought it was okay. No, I thought it was good. Actually, not okay. I thought it was good because of the night aspect when it, turns into nighttime and it gets crazy and shit like that. So
That's gonna make me down.
the new one
Well,
looks
like
very ambitious.
there was-
with the choices, but we'll see.
when they did that interview with the people from Respawn, like Titanfall was originally supposed to be a multiplayer.
It was,
behind
yeah.
closed doors.
Absolutely.
But then when they couldn't find funding for it, Microsoft was the only people that actually did it.
Actually,
So they made
I
it
remember
exclusive.
when they announced it.
And, like, regardless
Respawn
what's been announced, and what's
That was
not,
the Dynasty
Respawn
game.
didn't even know that the game was exclusive.
regardless what's been announced and what's not been announced, money will completely alter that. It doesn't matter what's been announced on
course.
Twitter. But the fact is, the people, I think Square Enix, I don't know who is the publisher for Dying Light 2.
That's a good question. I don't know.
No, that's not.
Is it WB?
I don't know. My mouse is charging. I can't look.
Oh,
Someone in the chat, tell me who the.
Nah, I
Someone
got
in the
it.
It's Techland. Yeah, Techland's developing and publishing the game.
Oh,
then yes, they could
the
definitely
bets
be
are
an
off.
exclusive.
Then bets are off. Then
Yeah,
then bets are off.
If they're publishing their own game, that if they buy them, it's automatically an exclusive of
Yeah.
Microsoft. There's nothing no one can do about it.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes
Microsoft
sense
wants it.
because
Yeah,
all the
that's
other
what
games that they bought was published by somebody
Not
else.
happen at all.
So I mean,
What?
yeah, that's actually that does. I didn't realize that because if you think about right, in Exile with Wasteland, well, that was a crowdfunded game. Psychonauts was Starbreeze, but I think they had to drop the project because I think they went under. 2K did Outer Worlds, a private division. They did the Outer Worlds, so all those games have publishing by a third party. So those made sense. So if Techland, that's why Techland would be that outlier. If in the event that did occur, they secure exclusive rights or buy the studio in the middle of development, and Techland is supposed to be the ones publishing it, then yeah, that actually makes sense to be able
Yeah,
to
I
secure
didn't know that
exclusive.
they were self-publishing. That's probably why they're having so many issues. It might
Yeah.
not even be game development. They're probably
Yeah.
having a hard time of marketing.
Maybe the
everything.
issues is them being in negotiations and there's disagreements. So that's probably what's holding the game up. Like, who knows, man? Who knows? But we got to get ready to get out of here because it's about to be 10 o'clock on the hour. I need to watch Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yep.
I got to see what that movie's about. But I do appreciate everybody coming through in the chat, even if you guys didn't hit the like button the way you were supposed to. But I appreciate you guys coming through. Shout out to the 11K. Shout out to the Planet Xbox team. Chris, we're praying for you, hoping everything gets itself together over in Texas. But yeah, man. I definitely appreciate everyone on the show. Addict, thank you. You made it through a full freaking show.
A full show. Man.
full show.
I told you, I'm not doing the 2-3 podcasts a week shit anymore, man. I'm getting too old for that shit.
Hey, man, you get busy in life. That's it.
IOP Sundays, that's my full-time podcast. Everything else is when I got time.
Yeah. Man, so let me give a shout out to some of the select people in the chat. Shout out to Tiger King, Bless Red, Frog's
We
Dream.
about to ignore all the people who've been flaving of this whole podcast.
Bless Red, I saw, I think Soxy came through. Meds. I'm about to call him Meds. Shout out to you. Jez. Who else came through? Merc 305.
Ravenflow was there.
Ravenflow, Gunstar. Yeah, lots of names. So I appreciate all you guys coming through. Shout out to Dexter if you're watching, Dexter. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Dexter. Damn, somebody subscribed to me today and I forgot his freaking name. I apologize. Pose.
Someone did a membership?
Nah, they just subscribed and I forget. He's hit me up on Twitter. I just don't like forgetting people's names. Yeah.
Can I give a shout out real quick?
Go ahead.
I'm finally getting around to playing Dragon Quest. Dragon Quest 11. Like I gotta hand it to them, man. Like they gotta do whatever they can, because like I'm first off, like I have a fit, like if Sony does some more stuff with Square Enix, Dragon Age 11 might be the only damn game of this game we're getting on this platform. But it's like, man, I wish we'd get more. I really do. Like I've really been enjoying my time with this game.
Shout out to Nolan again, bro, with the green. He says, there's another rumor about Xbox acquiring Ubisoft or WB Games as well. What do you guys think?
Ubisoft thing is not, they're not buying them.
I don't think they're buying Ubisoft. I would love for that to happen, because I would definitely, that would be one thing that nobody could say I'm capping because I play Ubisoft games. All right. So,
I'd rather have them buy WB.
I'd rather have them buy Ubisoft over WB. Me and Addict got into a debate on this in the Xbox Live Party. That shit drove me nuts, because there's nothing WB has that's better than Ubisoft outside the potential of licenses that really. Batman and Mortal Kombat, right? But do you even get Batman? Do you get Batman? So,
nope.
Yeah, so if you don't, then it's not worth it. Mortal Kombat's not worth it over Assassin's Creed, fucking Ghost Recon, and fucking The Division, and Immortals, like fucking Rainbow Six.
Yeah, a bunch of downgraded games.
Fuck out of here.
Downgrade. Ubisoft downgrade.
We gotta downgrade them if they're going to be exclusive to Xbox and PC.
They show you one thing at E3. They show you one thing at E3, and then the next thing is garbage.
Yeah, Ubisoft redeemed himself a long time ago. Shout out to them. But no.
How did they redeem themselves?
By releasing the shit they've been releasing.
Game with a different skin.
Bruh. Valhalla, Immortals, Phoenix Rising,
DLC,
Watch Dogs Legion.
$60 mod.
Is this the hell you gonna
Far Cry? Yes, it is.
Watch Dogs Legion is a $60 Watch Dogs 2 mod.
No, it's not Watch Dogs 2 mods. Watch Dogs 2 is garbage. Watch Dogs Legion is incredible. So there's that. But I will say this about this thing. Microsoft and Ubisoft is pretty close. I don't think an acquisition is happening. I do think Ubisoft games will make its way into Game Pass, their library, along with Uplay. Uplay is a good service, and I think that's why it's sort of funny that 3 or 2 out of the 5 games are Ubisoft games. That in this whole like 60 frame boost shows signs of a good relationship. Ubisoft is going to be the next major publisher to get their legacy titles into Game Pass. So book it.
Book it.
Book it.
Screenshot.
WB Games is already in there, so.
Nah, they need this. They need all those, man.
All right, old man Logan, what you got coming up, man?
What I got coming up?
Yep.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just playing through games. Hopefully going to beat Control. I kind of stopped playing Control because that game crashed at least 10 times on my Series X.
Damn.
Play.
Really? You should have got it on PlayStation, bro. It's free over there.
Oh, but I already paid for the. I already paid for the Ultimate Edition on Xbox when it was on sale like last.
Okay.
I got that game for free, and I thought I paid too much.
And so yeah, now that they put that patch out where it's supposed to be, or they're supposed to help with the crashing issues on the Series X, I might start getting back into that.
You didn't like Control Addict? You didn't like
No,
Control?
I didn't. No.
I love Control.
That shit-
I played it on
I love
the
Control. Yeah, that shit was
Xbox One.
The
I
only
have-
thing that saved that game was levitation. Like that's the only thing that saved that game.
It's the last
Even
thing
on
you
mobile.
get, and I think that's
game-
optional.
That game was like a 5 out of 10 until I got that levitation and it bumped it up to a 7.
And,
It was good. It was
Bad map control.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the map. That's the only thing. I wasn't a fan of the map.
There was multiple
Yeah,
things
the
wrong
map
with
was
that thing. Yeah.
definitely bad.
It's literally the one game that I played through and I loved that I literally did not understand a single thing going on in it. Like no joke. I'm even playing it a second time and I feel like I'm more confused the second time around than the first time.
Yeah.
See, and I don't understand how people consider those good games.
Well, it's like because I like the
Don't get shit about it. What's it about? I don't know, but I like it. Like I don't get that mentality.
Hey, that's how I feel about Tenet.
It's the gameplay.
I watched the movie. I
Oh,
fucking
yeah,
love that
yeah.
movie.
I understood
I'm so
Tenet,
confused
though.
by this
I
shit, bro.
understood Tenet.
I get it, but some
It's
some concepts are like confusing as fuck. Like I'm
Well,
sitting
it's
here
like-
like, yo, the soundtrack's
Nah, I like-
amazing. The cinematography is amazing. The story I get, but some of the shit was like weird. Like
The
Yeah.
only thing that confused me was that ending scene a little bit. I had to sit there
yeah,
and think for a
the
second. but that's
ending
all it
was. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right.
Oh, Smooth, how do you pull up the toggle? You said it ain't no toggle, that's right.
Yeah, the toggle's not there yet. The toggle, all right, for those looking forward, if you're trying to play these games at 60 frames per second, right now the toggle option is not available. That's going to be available in the spring update where you'll be able to turn it off and on. Right now, the games are just going. Once you restart your Xbox, if you haven't turned on your Xbox, or maybe if you turn on your Xbox, but you restart your Xbox, you'll notice the update. You'll notice a drastic difference, but right now it's not an option to turn it on. It'll just be on at running at 60. So
Hey, Smooth.
what's up?
Is Gears Tactics AAA?
Gears Tactic is a AAA title.
Okay. How much did it cost to make?
Ask Crap Gamer, he knows. Crap Gamer and Saltiest Gamer knows. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I don't even know how much Gears 5 cost to make. But this is what I got to go by. It was $59.99 when it released. It's published by Microsoft. It's a longer game than Gears 5, and it's a major first party
Yeah, it's
IP.
So it's high quality for its genre, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the tactics genre, it's at a high quality.
It's
where
a
it is
$59.99
AAA
thing.
tactics, game.
Yeah.
Correct. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, a lot of people feel like I know freaking Crap Gamer went to compare it to Uncharted and Call of Duty. I'm like, well, that's nice. You want to compare a fucking strategy game to? Come on, man. Like I wouldn't even when I say something's AAA, I'm not comparing it directly to the my favorite AAA type games. I'm not if it's
Right.
it's AAA. It's like
AAA games.
when 2K releases PGA Tour 2K Golf, right? It's AAA. It ain't my type of. It's golf. Golf is boring, but they the same people that publish 2K20 basketball 2K. They publish fucking. They also make their other games. It's a AAA. It's not the game you want, but they're publishing a full-fledged sports title. It's golfing. It's not basketball. The budget isn't any lower. I don't know. Like people, the things that they do to sort of mitigate the self-mitigating tactics of like they're on this marathon that Xbox hasn't released a first-party exclusive or AAA exclusive in 530 days, which is bullshit because Gears Tactics released 100 days ago. And then if you want to just talk about exclusives in general, over the last 3 months, there's been at least like 2 exclusives per month. So shut the fuck up. Like anybody who believes that stupid ass shit, they're just freaking dumb. I know, and there's a lot of jealousy, and like this. People do a lot of tactics to make themselves feel good when Xbox gets good news, so they start doing these stupid ass shits and start counting down calendars and shit like that.
They say what they doing is good for the community because
we're trying to be the gaming MLK. Shut the fuck up. Like, I mean, I'm not telling you to shut the fuck up. I mean, but I'm just saying, like, these people feel like they're righteous. Damn it, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm not making the play off your name, bro. I love Chris, man. That's
I agree because that's how I feel about like like, yo, people trying to downplay like Ratchet and Clank. They're like, oh, it's Ratchet and Clank. It's like, why?
That was an interesting discussion.
But to me, it's like, yo, like that, like you can't tell me you look at the new Ratchet and Clank, you can't tell me that shit's not AAA.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell me that shit's not the highest quality production for that genre. It's a shooter platformer. Yes, that is the genre of Ratchet and Clank.
It's okay.
A shooter platformer.
Wasn't the discussion?
It's okay to say something's AAA without it appealing to you. Like,
yeah, it's the weirdest shit. Like I know what the discussion Chris is talking about, because there was a discussion about like Returnal and Ratchet and Clank both being $70, and we're proceeding.
Returnal we don't know about.
Yeah.
Like Returnal's still up in the air.
Yeah.
We don't know. Like we could look at Destruction All Star and be like, nah, that shit ain't worth $70.
Yeah.
Like, that's, even Sony was like, yeah, maybe we should have put it out for $70.
Yeah.
Put it on Plus.
Now,
so, we can look at certain games and be like, this definitely ain't worth $60 full price or $70 and shit like that. But then there's other games that is like, yo, just because that game doesn't particularly appeal to you, and you wouldn't pay full price for those games day one, it doesn't take away the fact that those games in particular are still like high quality AAA games in their genre. Ratchet and Clank was fucking the most next gen game. Like, so yeah, why wouldn't they charge their full price the way they're charging right now? Absolutely, it's going to be a much bigger game than the last one. They're putting money into it.
Yeah, my thoughts on Ratchet and Clank, because I always thought it was a big title from Insomniac. I mean, that game fucking financially supported Insomniac for years. Though I think the reason the last one was a discounted title because it was a remake, and it was like a support of the movie that they were putting out that year.
Exactly.
So at that point, you were trying to sell it to kids, right? You know what I mean? At that point, like, to support the movie, you got the movie out, the game's out. $39.99 was a nice price tag at that point. It was a quality game. It wasn't a bad game.
I can't get mad at people that the debate on AA, AAA, that's dumb.
Yeah.
But if someone that picked up the last Ratchet and Clank for $40 and they expected a similar price point for this, so that would be $50 with this new pricing thing, I can't expect people to get a little upset about that. But
Ratchet and Clank wasn't a permanent discounted game. That was like the only other thing. The previous Ratchet and Clank were all full
I get
price.
it, but the last one was $40, so you automatically.
But it made sense because it was a remake.
It was
going
to be around the same.
The ones before that were always full price, like Cracking Time, they were always the PS3 price, $60 and stuff like that. So yeah, the last one, obviously, that one was just a remake of the original Ratchet and Clank. But now, like, they're promoting this as that this is going to be the next big game. This is going to be bigger than that remake. We're putting money behind this. And Insomniac literally said that this is, designed to be a showcase for the PlayStation 5. You know what I mean? So.
Absolutely.
That's all cute and everything, but people pay $40. They wanted to pay $40.
I get it. Yeah.
All right, man.
I don't believe that Skyward Sword should be $60 for the minimum effort that they
Whoa.
put into that game.
Skyward Sword should be $20.
All right, so we're gonna get out of here, man. Thank you guys for watching once again. Shout out to the homie Nolan Baptiste with the questions. Appreciate it. You added like an additional 30 minutes to the podcast, man. But appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for watching. As always, we love you. Well, I love you. I don't know about them, but I might hate you guys tomorrow. But
I love the chat. Shout out to the chat.
Thank you guys for watching. The Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We are out of here.